The flickering streetlight painted bars across Ethan's face, highlighting the shadows etched by sleepless nights and mounting anxieties. He sat on the edge of his bed, the worn fabric digging into his thighs, a stark contrast to the plush comfort he'd once taken for granted. The small apartment, usually a haven, now felt like a cage. A pile of unpaid bills lay on the floor, a stark testament to his dwindling resources. Each bill was a small, sharp jab at his already fragile hope. He ran a hand through his unshaven face, the stubble scratching against his skin, a physical manifestation of the rough patch he was in. The laptop on his desk pulsed with the insistent glow of an unread email, a notification mocking his inaction. He knew what it was. Another rejection. Another door slammed in his face. He'd sent out hundreds of applications, each one a tiny seed of hope planted in the barren soil of his despair. So far, only weeds had grown. Job after job, interview after interview, the same crushing disappointment. He felt the familiar weight of failure pressing down on him, a heavy cloak of hopelessness. He picked up a rejection letter, the crisp paper feeling strangely cold against his burning fingertips. The words blurred together, a meaningless jumble of polite, yet ultimately devastating refusals. He tossed it onto the growing pile, the sound a small, pathetic echo of his crumbling dreams. His eyes scanned the cluttered room, each item a reminder of his past successes, a cruel juxtaposition to his current plight. The framed photographs of happier times seemed to mock him, their smiles a painful reminder of a life he was losing grip on. The silence of the night was broken only by the rhythmic tick-tock of a cheap alarm clock on his nightstand. Each second felt like a hammer blow, chipping away at his resolve. He closed his eyes, trying to conjure up images of brighter days, of a time when his future seemed limitless, when opportunities flowed freely, when the weight of responsibility didn't feel so crushing. He remembered the warmth of his family, the laughter of friends, the satisfaction of a job well done. Those memories were fading, replaced by the cold, hard reality of his present situation. He opened his eyes, the streetlight's glow still casting its weak, hesitant light into the room. A single tear traced a path through the grime on his cheek. It was a tear, not of self-pity, but of defiance. He wouldn't let this defeat him. He would fight. He would rise. He would find a way. He stood up, the stiff muscles in his legs protesting the sudden movement. He walked towards the laptop, his hand hovering over the keyboard. He would write another email. He would send out another application. He would keep fighting, even if the odds seemed insurmountable. The flickering light seemed to grow a little brighter, a tiny spark of hope in the darkness. He had to keep going, for himself, for the future he still clung to, a future he was determined to reclaim, one keystroke at a time.